Welcome to ReadyRosie. My name is Kevin, and I'm here to give you a broad overview of ReadyRosie and what we offer schools and families. The whole purpose at ReadyRosie is to help schools effectively partner with families, all with the goal of improving student outcomes. We do that in a number of ways, that I'll be going over here in the next few minutes. But we have a whole digital platform that allows you to reach parents, whether or not they come to you for your traditional family engagement events or not, but you're able to go through them. So many parents now are interacting with their smartphone to get a variety of information for them and entertainment or whatnot, or just for communication purposes. So we've built a platform made of about 1,000 what we call model moment videos that feature everyday parents in the context of everyday life doing simple activities that parents can watch and see those activities modeled for them, put down that phone, and do that activity with their own family when that makes sense for them. So we'll show you a couple examples of that. Everything we have is in English and in Spanish. Our resources really span from birth all the way through third grade. So whether you're working with a 4-year-old, but maybe that parent has a 2-year-old at home and can benefit from this, maybe you've got a little older child. So we'll show you the range of our content that's in there here in a few minutes. But we also have built in a series of resources that when parents do come to you for a variety of touch points that you might have throughout the year, whether that be welcome back nights, whether that's parent-teacher conferences, family events, literacy nights, or parent trainings, we have a whole series of tools like family workshops, parent-teacher conference materials, and whatnot to help you integrate ReadyRosie into those everyday connections that you'll have with families. Because there's this digital component, it really gives you the ability to really personalize learning for your families so that you're able to push out to them strategies and tools that align with what that child's learning in the classroom or any other initiatives that you might be having there locally or at the school level. And then we also have a whole series of data dashboards that helps you track not only the impact in terms of how this is being implemented, but be able to see how this is working for your families. And we'll show you some examples of that here in a second. But to start off with, I want to show you a couple of examples. So you're going to see an example in English, and you're going to see a pre-K example. You're also going to see an example of a younger activity, this one in Spanish. So that may be relevant for your community, it may not, but I want to show it just in case you can see what it looks like in an earlier toddler type setting. Then I want to show you an example of one of our research and answer videos. This one happens to be featuring Becky Bailey of Conscious Discipline, but it shows a type of video that's not necessarily a modeled activity, but it's just an early childhood expert speaking directly to parents, answering everyday questions that they may have. In this case, what do I do when my child's not listening to me? Take a look and we'll talk about it some more.
Okay, little buddy, while I load the dishwasher, I want you to play a game with me, okay? We're going to play a game where we describe items out of our pantry, okay? So look, I have 4 items here out of the pantry. I have peanut butter, it's brown, it's smooth, and it's in a jar. I have quinoa. It's hard and crunchy right now, but when you cook it, it gets soft. There's like hundreds of little pieces of quinoa in this green box. And then I have some tomatoes. They are in a metal can, and they are red and soft, and there's juice inside that metal can. And then I have some bread. The bread comes in slices, and it's soft, and it's yummy to eat, and it's white. Okay? So listen, we're gonna play a game. I'm going to describe an object to you, and you need to guess what it is. So you're gonna close your eyes. I'm going to describe it, and you guess. Are you ready? Okay. Close your eyes. Okay. There are hundreds of little pieces of this in a green box. They are crunchy, but after I cook them, they are soft. What am I describing?
Quinoa.
That's right, quinoa. Okay, you want to do it? Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes, and you describe one of these objects to me. Okay?
Okay. It's smooth and in the pantry. It's soft and it's smooth.
Okay, it's soft and smooth and out of the pantry. Is that peanut butter? Yes. You want to do another one?
And it's soft in the box. Well, I cooked it in the box. What do you think it is?
Oh, I think it's quinoa.
What? With sweet potato, with potato, it's soft, and what I cooked, and it was in the can.
Oh, it's soft and in a can?
Mm-hmm.
Are those tomatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great job, Jaden. You did a good job describing things.
What? It's
Hold on.
soft.
When you were younger, you described things by their size and color, but today you use words like metal can and in a jar and smooth. Great job.
I missed it.
All done.
I know.
Mira, los zapatos. No tienes zapatos, Ian. Hay que ponernos zapatos. ¿Cuáles son los zapatos de Ian? ¿Cuáles son los zapatos de Ian? ¿Y los de mamá? Voy a salir al parque, pero necesito mis zapatos. Vamos, Ian, zapatos. Zapatos para Ian, zapatos para Ian. ¿Cuáles son los zapatos de Ian? Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Y ayudas a mamá? ¿Cuál es el zapato de mamá? ¿Le pongo el zapato a Ian? Ya, vamos a ponerle el zapato a Ian para salir. Muy bien. Zapato para Ian. ¿Y ahora me puedes dar el zapato de mamá? ¿Cuál es el zapato de mamá? ¿Cuál es el zapato de la mami? ¿La mamá no tiene zapatos? ¿Me ayudas con el zapato? A ver, vamos a ponerle zapatos para Ian, zapatos para Ian. Y ahora la mami necesita zapatos porque no tiene zapatos. Muy bien, gracias Ian por ayudar a mamá a ponerse sus zapatos y a encontrar los zapatos. Muchas gracias.
To help your child more likely listen to you, you need to actually walk over to your child. You need to make eye contact before you give them a command. Often we like to holler from the kitchen, "Alyssa, come to dinner." You actually physically need to walk over, tap them on the shoulder. When they look at you, you say, "It's time for dinner." And then if they kind of balk a little, you can give them a choice. You can walk to dinner and sit in that chair right there, or you can walk with me and sit in the chair on the other side of the table. Which one's best for you? To help your child listen to you, you need to have an assertive voice. Now, an assertive voice says, "I mean what I say what I mean." So you can help yourself learn this by going, "My jacket is blue, my top is black. It's time to get in the car." That's an assertive voice. Sometimes we say, "It's time to get in the car." Okay? So we tell them, use an assertive tone. We don't go, "It's time to get in the car." We use an assertive voice, which is the voice of knowing. We also tell them what to do as opposed to what not to do. And the last thing we want to do is walk over to them, get their attention before we give them a command, and realize young children process information 12 times slower than adults. So be patient, be clear, and you got this.
As you saw with those, each one is about 2 minutes in length or less. It features a real family doing that activity with their child. It's not using actors, it's using just real families. So you're going to see students running away or not listening and parents redirecting. So you see a whole host of content relating to that, not only the activity that's being modeled, but also just some ways in which parents are interacting in really positive ways with their kiddos. The whole goal is that as we're trying to build the confidence of parents and giving them simple strategies that they can employ, that we don't want to make it so out of touch that parents think that they can't be doing this. We want to make it simple so that parents can get this on the go and actually apply it on the go. Because let's face it, parents with young children live oftentimes really busy, chaotic, messy lives. And we want to show them that whether they're at the park or they're in the car on the way somewhere, or they're at the grocery store, they're at a doctor's office, they're in a restaurant, they're at home around the dinner table, wherever they happen to be, we want parents to know that they can employ and start changing some basic habits that really turn everyday moments into learning activities. And that's the whole goal with ReadyRosie. Here's our growing list of content categories that you're going to find among the modeled moment videos, as well as the expert videos that you saw an example of. We have language and literacy and all the early childhood subcategories that go along with that, as well as math and reasoning. So you see with these two categories a lot just to really think through your readiness goals as you're trying to kind of get this child really on a trajectory for school readiness in kindergarten and beyond. But also a whole host around health and well-being. So if you're looking at family routines, or looking at fine and gross motor skills, or health and safety nutrition, or perception, or whatever that happens to be, we want you to see examples of that. Our research and answer videos that you saw an example of there a second ago cover a wide range of different types of topics. And we have a whole section that's growing related around social emotional learning for families and kids as well. So this is how it works. When families get access to ReadyRosie, in most cases, it's from a smartphone, but anytime they have access to an internet-enabled device, they're able to access the entire video library right from their fingertips. And so if they want to, they can search by category, age range, location. They can say, I've got a 3-year-old. I want to do an activity that makes sense at a grocery store, or whatever they're interested in, they can find something. But we don't want to just rely on the fact that parents have access to these great tools and that they can go and get them whenever they want, which they can. We also want to push out to them in the form of weekly nudges, specific strategies that get sent out to your families once a week on Mondays. So that they can sign up to get an email or text message notification that allows them to see a playlist that's been put together of our content from our team, again, with the purpose of nudging them back with the resource and giving them some specific strategies of things to do this week. But where the real strategy of ReadyRosie comes in, and where we really see it being used in some creative ways that's really causing parents to use it more and more, is when you have the ability to customize at your end and push out to families content that aligns specifically with what that child might be learning in the context of the classroom. So a classic example is a teacher might push out to families every week or every other week, here's what we're learning in class this week, try these 3 things at home, and it'll help support that effort. And really gives parents not only insight into what the child's learning, and they can see that as they're engaging in these activities as well, but really helps parents know what they can be doing to support that at home. So we give educators access to what we call the ReadyRosie Share platform that allows them to invite families, create classrooms, customize content out to them. We give them access to all the educator tools that we have associated with it, as well as access to see how their families are doing and utilizing the resource. In addition to this digital content, we've also created a whole series of family workshops. These are essentially parent trainings that are designed for you to be able to just pull off some really great conversational type events with your families to get them learning from one another around certain topics that we have. We have about 10 of these in our library, ranging from literacy to math to discipline to parents as partners to, in this case, relationship matters. So you'll see all the range of categories. But essentially, we give you a PowerPoint presentation. Everything's already translated into English and Spanish if you need that. An easy-to-follow facilitator guide, all with the goal of making it easier for that educator to really follow through. What's the next follow-up question? What's the activity that leads into this next section? We've also put in, where it's appropriate, our PowerPoint embedded videos into that PowerPoint that allows you to see examples and allows your family to see examples of how this looks. And then that tracks back to our digital content as well. We have these in 2 types of formats. We have both the 60-minute format, and sometimes you have space and luxury to do that with your families. Sometimes you don't. So we also have created a whole series of family workshops called Give Me Tens, which takes this concept, same type of facilitator guide and PowerPoint presentation, and really boils it down to 10-minute chunks with your family. So you can do more of them over the course of the year, maybe at drop-off, pickup, or ahead of some other event that you're throwing, where it doesn't require a whole lot of time commitment on the part of your family. So you'll have access to all of that material. The data is the aspect that is really great for you to not only figure out how am I going to implement this and be able to track that implementation across my program, but also to be able for you to see how your parents are learning and what they're learning along the way, and also allow for some really two-way communication through this. So whether you're an administrator seeing this program-wide, you want to see data at 30,000 feet to see how many people are using it, how it's being tracked, school to school or center by center, so that as I'm implementing it and know where I can provide support for the folks who are implementing this, I can see that sort of data. But as you drill down, and whether you're an administrator or you're a classroom teacher or a family support worker or somebody right there working with the families directly, you're able to see data in terms of how those parents are utilizing it, not just how many videos have they watched, but also how does that track back to the very learning outcome opportunities and family outcome opportunities that you're hoping your families are growing in along the way. Then I can drill down even down to the level of the individual student to see a portfolio of how their family is learning throughout the year, not only the videos that they've watched, but really how that tracks back into the learning outcome opportunities. So you can see curricularly what are they engaging in, and it can really help you, really the closer you are to these families, to be able to take any other assessment data you have or any other just anecdotal data you have in terms of working with these families and what you think might be needed to help move the needle for those kids. You're able to see, based on this resource, what is that family taking advantage of. So in addition to all that, as I mentioned earlier on, we really want ReadyRosie to be integrated into all of your family engagement strategies. And one of the ways we do that is to give you support for important transitions. So whether that's summer transition, where most programs have some sort of summer learning loss prevention initiative or summer learning strategies, we've created a whole summer SOAR program to help learning continue throughout the summer. Also, we know that the important transitions as parents are coming for the first time into pre-K or even out of pre-K into kindergarten are crucial transitions. We've put together a couple of family workshops around those particular transitions, as well as really help programs strategize how they can't get their families connected to ReadyRosie at those intake events or registration events, or when you're starting to work with families for the first time, maybe a good 2-3 months before they're even assigned to a classroom. So all sorts of strategies to help with that. We've also put together a great toolkit for parent-teacher conferences, understanding that this is a powerful conversation between families and the educators. And so we want to be able to give your educators some great tools on how to make that a really welcoming and meaningful relationship building conversation that you're having with the families, but also to give some tips and tools on how you can't bring ReadyRosie to bear on the important question that parents often ask at the end of one of these parent-teacher conferences, which is, what should I be doing at home to help, or what can I be doing at home to help? We believe ReadyRosie was made to answer those sorts of questions. So again, we want to help transform those conversations you're having with families. We also know that you probably do family nights, and we want you to really think through and give you some tools of how you can use ReadyRosie in conjunction with those, as well as to really think through your strategies and your goals with these family events, to think not only how do I make this a great, fun, and inviting and exciting program for when our families are here, but how can I make sure that what they get there is extended beyond there so that it's starting to change home life conversations, home life activities, which ought to be the goal of our family events anyway. So we talk about that a bit. So everything you've seen is research-based. If you go to ReadyRosie.com/research, you're going to see our extensive research base of past, current, and ongoing studies that we have with ReadyRosie. We're data-driven, both in terms of how we produce all of our resources, but also to give you the tools to be able to know how you can't use data to drive your family engagement initiatives. And lastly, we're also standards aligned. So we have a whole host, as you'll see, of curricular alignments even to your state standards, as well as if you're a Head Start program to the PFCE documents, as well as the Early Learning Outcome Frameworks documents. And so whatever you're trying to accomplish in terms of your goals with kiddos, we likely have an alignment to that makes it really simple to know what are we recommending with ReadyRosie in terms of what you're trying to work on with those children and families. So we're excited to be partnering with you and excited to help you learn more about ReadyRosie and join the hundreds of partners across the country who are already utilizing this and seeing great outcomes as a result. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, kevin@readyrosie.com, and be happy to answer any of your questions. And we look forward to meeting you soon. Thanks for listening and have a great day.